Hello and welcome to NRG This Week. I am Oren Stewart, standing in for Leon Thomas. Joining Mike Weiner today, we have an amazing guest that you do not want to miss. Great story, superstar out of Canada, Montreal. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Once again, I'm Oren Stewart here at NRG This Week, standing in for Mr. Leon Thomas. Mike Weiner, come on in and join me.
Hey, Oren, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you this morning?
I am doing absolutely awesome.
Awesome. Pleasure joining you today. Hopefully, I can do Leon justice today. We sent out prayers to him. He's a little under the weather, but couldn't wait, man. We could not put this particular episode off. We have an amazing guest today. Please tell us about who this young gentleman is, man, who has been new to joining NRG. Tell us about him.
I appreciate you, Oren, and yeah, our best prayers out to Leon today. Leon and I go back about 25 years, but yeah, I'm honored today. We've got Sam in from Canada. He joined NRG in December, and he's absolutely a rock star. He referred 100 people to me through LinkedIn on a three-way text intro. And that's a lot of work. It took me over 6 hours to respond back. That was in lieu of our extravaganza, which we just did a couple of weeks ago in March. And, speaking of great people, we've got a great speaker coming up on Friday, Chris Salem. So you definitely want to jump on my Zoom for that. But yeah, I'm really honored, Oren, to have Sam here. And he's a young member, but he's mature beyond his years.
Awesome. And I think I remember hearing you say he's your youngest member also, correct?
He is our youngest member, but don't let that fool you. He's very mature. He's growing a business big time. Yeah, I love working with someone. And I told him he reminds me of my youngest son, Lance, just very motivated, very, how do I help people out, very mature beyond his years. So I'm really ecstatic to have him. And I know Leon wasn't going to be here, but I knew you guys would step up, and
Oh, yeah.
really excited to have Sam here from Canada today.
Yes, indeed. Without further ado, let's bring Sam in. Sam, come on in and join us.
Hey,
How
how
are
are you
you, sir?
guys?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Pleasure meeting you as well. I'm going to let Mike go on and lead us, but I know I have some great questions for you as well. Yes.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Yes.
It's a pleasure being on this show as well. Beautiful day in Montreal, so cannot be more happy.
Yes, indeed. Tell us, man, what's the time difference there? And and now, granted, I should know this, but I want us to kind of be able to walk into this and help people to understand that NRG is worldwide. It's not just nationwide,
Right.
but that's the reason I wanted to ask that question. So let us know about the time difference of where you are and where we know where Mike is and we know where I am. But just to let people know that we reach all the way as far out as the internet can go. Let's just say that.
Right, for sure. So it's Eastern time as well. So right now it's 8:04 my time as well.
Okay.
But obviously in the network though, I think probably how many time zone do you think we have, Mike, in the network? Probably like eight, nine.
Yeah, that's a great question. We've got four different time zones. So
Yep.
yeah, it's funny because I always grew up with Eastern, and I've had to learn all these different time zones now, because if you don't give the right time zone, the person shows up at the wrong hour.
Right,
So it's
Indeed.
right.
really it's been a big part of NRG going to Zoom,
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
these time things.
Yes. Well, Sam, come on and let us know about how you two met, how this amazing new connection has come about, and this hundred, that number 100 is something, man. It speaks volume. Tell us about what it is that you do, and like I mentioned, bringing us in. You are the new rock star, the new superstar at NRG. Please, man.
Right, right, for
Yes.
sure. So basically, in December last year, one of the great member here in Canada as well is called Stacy Stockford, and we were in a mutual group, another group, more of a marketing specialty type of group. And she told me, hey, you should check out NRG. It's blowing up, all those great things. So I was like, oh, sure. So I joined a meeting right away, fall in love with the energy of NRG, right, of Mike and the network in general. This family atmosphere um, was so amazing, and I never saw that anywhere else. So I was just very eager to join. And once I did, I just, I'm a big providing value type of person. So I make sure to do just that. And, since then, it's been an amazing ride with Mike himself.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, indeed. I tell you, you said two things, man, that stood out to me. The family feeling that you receive here with NRG, but also bringing forth a value, making sure
Right.
that your presence is acknowledged and recognized, and wanting people to know that you're not just the new kid in town, right? And I don't mean that just because you're the youngest, but any of us at any
Right.
point in time, we're the new kid on the block, so to speak. But to make sure that people know that we're here and we bring something that's gonna, take what it is that we're becoming a part of to the next level. So Mike, tell us about what that means to you, having Sam now join you, and just what the impact he's been able to have so far.
If every member could take 10 to 20% of what Sam has brought to NRG, or in the organization would grow even greater. And his understanding of law of attraction, of serving people. I mean, part of NRG is jumping on other meetings beside Canada, and Sam has jumped on meetings, and it's crazy. But here we are in March, just a couple of months after he joined, and I'll mention a name, and if it's an NRG member, there's a very good chance he's already talked with them. But his innate ability to network, he'll jump on a Zoom, and similar to what I've always done, he'll offer assistance, he'll offer a name, he'll offer to connect people. And you don't see that all the time in folks that are twice his age, three times his age. And I love his energy. Obviously, that was one of the things I noticed about him. But his innate ability to help other people, it's a gift. And I know he loves NRG, and we love Sam in Canada, and it's been a really amazing ride, because with the extravaganza, it took him a lot of time to introduce 100 people to me, because I responded to every single one, and it took me well over 6 hours. So, Oren, we're just very blessed to have Sam. And law of attraction is putting the best out there. And I tell you what, whatever I did, it's been highly blessed by God to bring Sam to NRG. So I'm ecstatic about us working together for decades.
Awesome. They say it's nothing is coincidental, as I have always heard. All things happen when they're meant to and how they're meant to. So that speaks volume. Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, about just what's brought you to who you are, as we are getting an opportunity to meet you here today. But tell the listeners about exactly what it is that Mike is speaking to, that it's an innate ability that, as we see it, it's new to us, but it clearly isn't new to you. So share with
Right.
us about your journey that's brought you to who you are today.
Oh, sure, man. I would love to. So, born and raised in Montreal, right? Been a very lovely household since my birth. I've been very grateful about it as well, because health and family is, I think, are two of my main priority and value in life. So, very very quickly in life, man, I was very competitive. That's one thing that you will learn about me very quickly, and a sponge for knowledge as well. I always try to provide that, like I said, but to provide value, you need value, right? You need to acquire it. So very, very early on in my life, at 4 years old, I was diagnosed with the genius spectrum. So I skipped a bunch of classes in primary school here in Montreal. At 9 years old, I was already in high school from those efforts. So right away, right, my maturity comes from being always with older people, always have to I tell people often that if I'm not the best, don't mention my name. And I say that because I had this background, right, of just, if I'm not in the 1%, I won't make it. That's my view on the world. So at 16 years old, I graduated with a college degree in brand management. And I was, like I said, already done with high school, but also with the college degree. So academics was always something very important for me. My family, bunch of brilliant people as well. So I had to step up to my name, if you will. And also from that, big sports guy. So I played here, semi-professional here in Blainville near myself. And yeah, so, the competitive nature comes from that. But the added value come, like I said, from, for sure, some biblical value that I got from reading a lot at a very young age. I always was the person to do the extra mile, right? Do the extra step, do the extra contact, the extra phone call, always to put myself in the best situation. So I think that combining all of that make me the person that I am today. And, it's by meeting people just like Mike as well that I continue growing at such a rapid and fascinating pace.
Awesome. I'll tell you something, man. One big thing that you mentioned, and I have to highlight this real quick, Mike, if you don't mind. If I'm not the
Sure.
best, do not mention my name.
Right.
Sam, when you said that, that spoke volume, because what it is what exudes from that is confidence, but it's based upon you knowing who you are, and it's based
Hmm.
on a lot of what you said in regards to how you were raised and just the experiences that you've had such far. What is your age? You may have already said it, but I want people to understand what your age is and what it means for your generation, what it is that you're spearheading and what you're out at front leading. Tell us.
Right. So I'm 18 years old right now.
Amazing, amazing. So you are a young man just approaching, as we like to say, adulthood, but stepping in and saying, "I have something to bring. I have something to offer." And
Right.
here at NRG, I want to make sure that I become a part of the referral that the resource. Let's just say the reality of what you all do is to be a resource that connects people worldwide. So it's awesome, Mike. I can imagine, man, how you feel having, like you've already mentioned, but just having Sam to be a part of NRG and
It's
and just to
it.
speak a little bit about. Go ahead. I was going to say, speak a little bit
Yeah,
about.
I was gonna say when Sam was just talking, I wrote three words down. I wrote older, but I'm not older. I'm 58. I'm more mature, but I don't want to say I'm old. So genius. And here's the thing: if you're looking at joining NRG, Sam is a genius. You want to be a genius? Come share with us. I've been called a marketing maverick and all these things by Dr. Z, but we've got a member in Sam. He's 18 years old and he's a genius by his own, what he's accomplished already. So if you want to come, you become who you associate with. And the last thing you said, Sam, reading. Readers are leaders, and you've got
Right.
to be reading and getting better. So I applaud you. That was the three things I just pulled out of that, and some of what you talked about I didn't even know, but I'm going to utilize that for our NRG audience and people that don't know what we're about. And
Right.
it's just it's amazing what you've accomplished, but you've got so much potential. The best is yet to come, and there's so much ahead of you, and that's what I'm really excited about.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Like you said, you mentioned reading, right? And I've been reading since I'm 13 years old, and not like Harry Potter's type of book. I respect it, but I'm more knowledge based type of book, right? Some of my personal favorite, Mastery by Robert Greene. So if you want to check one, a very very great one. That's for sure one to utilize. How to Win Friends and Influence People as well. Probably the only book on persuasion you ever need. I just read this weekend, The Power of Who by Bob Bodine was an amazing one as well. So if you share the hobby of reading, probably have a nice chat on that as well.
That's awesome. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, Sam. And the cool thing about this is, this will be shared on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on the NRG.online website. You could share it with all your Canadian friends, but folks may be watching this now. They may be watching this in a month. This is being recorded here. What's this? March 23rd, 3/23/23. A lot of threes in there, but someone could be watching this in a year, and 5 years, 10 years. Take 2 minutes. Tell us what you do professionally. How do you benefit your clients? And the cool thing about you, you're not limited to Canada. You've got business soaring around the world and in the US. So take 2 minutes, give us kind of a quick overview on what Sam does for his clients.
Right. Yeah, sure. So what I've been doing now for quite a while with my amazing business partner as well, David Ubita, which is based in Chicago. Right now in my firm, currently a little over 220 active clients. And what we're doing for them is establishing a system for them to get more business coming through their door. So, we're utilizing LinkedIn a lot. And let me tell you about the process and why it's so powerful. So the first thing you want to know about doing business, right? We do business with people that we know, like, and trust. So you really need to establish yourself as an expert in your field in order for your prospects to understand that, hey, this is a pain point, this, I can solve. Let me talk to this person, right? So the first thing is targeting. And the targeting is being done very simply by providing our clients with a survey. They answer some question about the avatar that they are looking for, right? Firmographic wise, geographic wise, even psychographic wise for some industries is very important. We take those specific and put them into software to make sure that we refine the search, from 870 million profiles now on LinkedIn to about 50,000 of your best prospect to be sure that we are talking to who you want to meet, right? Who you can serve. Afterwards, on the outreaches side, what is very different with what we do is that, like I said, we are very value driven. So one thing about marketing that I want everybody here to understand is that you don't want to create a need in the market. There are plenty of need in the market. You want to find one and solve one, right? Meet it with your service or product. So that's exactly how we do it. We leverage a 4-page shop funnel that we provide for free to our clients, a free copy that we customize. And what we do on this funnel is very simply adding a demo video of you telling the world what you do, but more importantly, the differentiation that you have between yourself and everybody else in the market, right? Why you over everybody else? So by pushing the emotional needle with this demo case study that are on the funnel as well, and a bunch more of optimized marketing rules, it makes the vetting process very, very prolific, right? So very, very effective. So what we do on the outreach side is, like I said, something around the line of being a resource for people. So, hey, I see people in your industry struggling with such and such. Please, view this resource. It might be, a value for you, something like that. And basically, what we do is driving those pool of people all the way to the funnel to vet themselves and make sure that they understand, hey, I need to talk to Sam, right? So by going deeper and deeper on the demo, they can book a call with yourself, and it's all about turning those cold prospects into warm calls on your calendar. So it's all about productivity and time management. And we've really been mastering this principle for about 8 years now for the firm-wise, and myself for about a little over 2 years. So it's been a pleasure to help some small businesses grow.
Oh, that's awesome. I love your answer there too. That's amazing how you're doing that with companies. Congratulations. That's phenomenal. Second question. I've got two more. COVID was probably the best thing that ever happened to NRG. It got me away from driving all around Maryland and Virginia and PA. And I never would have met you if we didn't decide to go nationwide and then eventually international. So we've got a whole new generation. And I was on a podcast yesterday and they said, when I become a billionaire, what would I do? And I talked about donating money to charities, but I also talked about tomorrow's leaders, because I'm at that age now, 58, where I'm thinking, and I've got a son that is 3 years older than you and another one that's 8 years older, but I'm thinking about the next generation. So we've got a lot of people watching this now that are, at your age or slightly higher. Maybe they've gone to college, they're 21, 22. Maybe they're going to go work in corporate America. Maybe they're going to start their own business. What advice would you give to this newer generation? Let's say 18 to 25. These are leaders of tomorrow. And if we don't prepare them, it's not going to be good. So we need to prepare them. Leadership. What would you, if you had two tips that you could give tomorrow's leaders now between the ages of 18 and 25, what would that look like coming from a genius, from Sam? What would that look like?
All right. Well, yeah, for sure. So basically, one of the best tip I can give to anybody is the quote, which is you are kind of like the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, is absolutely true. I want you to understand that your time is super valuable. From a recent study, your time before the age of 18 is worth about $50 an hour. Just because, again, this is where you are a sponge for knowledge. Don't be scared of going big. Age is just a number. That's another great one. Don't be scared to approach prolific people, right? Like Mike, like a bunch of other people here on this call, and provide value. And what I mean by providing value is understand what is value, right? What is value? So the way I quantify value is quite simple. First is a dream outcome, right? The value is being achieved by achieving something that is the end goal, right? So example, in my firm, what we do is that we provide you with more business. So the end goal is you making more revenue, right? So the end goal is always something to keep in mind when you talk to someone, because when you can address their biggest struggle, they will remind you. They will say, hey, Sam did this for me. That's amazing. Let me do something for him, right? We are big on reciprocation. We are human beings. The afterwards is a likelihood of that being a success. So this is the second component. And the likelihood of being a success is obviously, let me give you an example right away, right? If we are a new firm, we have, a couple of clients, or you are a pretty well-established firm and you have 200 in testimonial, obviously the perceived value up front, you will say, hey, these people seem more like an expert because they have been doing this for many years. They've been establishing quite, an empire there. So what I want you to understand is to strive as much as possible to get those first couple of clients, give them a lot of value, try to understand that money is overrated. And I want this to be very clear. As someone that's made money very early on in my life, I've been in the category of just, hey, chasing it, always trying to make more money, and this is the only way to succeed. It's not true at all. Try to provide more value to people, and you will see this value coming back to you. So this is the first tip. The second tip is that, and it kind of like combined with the first one, but your network is your network, right? And I say that because, again, one, your time is valuable, but the second thing is, at our age, right? I spoke to my 16-year-old self right now. Not at 16, 18 years old, my bad. Bunch of people will try to, party, and it's not wrong. But I just want you to understand that if you want to build something great, if you want to leave a legacy in this world, you need to start soon and start greatly. You need to start very, very in an ambitious demeanor, if you will. So if you approach life that way, man, the sky's the limit.
That's awesome. You know what? And if you're watching this right now, whatever year it is, I would recommend go back to the beginning and write some notes down, because Sam is providing nugget after nugget after nugget. And, Tony Robbins, he's well known. He says provide so much value. When you do that, the people, they have to be with you. They have to do business with you. And, you talked about it. You can make money, you can lose money, but, and you can make money back again. But time, you're right. Time is precious. And once you've lost it,
Right.
It's gone forever. And you talked about reciprocity. What's the quote at NRG? You can always get everything you want if you help enough other people get what they want. People ask me all the time, I want to make more money. I want to make more money. I go, do you really? And they go, yes. And I go, well, serve more people. So, Sam, I've got one more question for you. The average person that I've met over the last 25 years doing this, they've been in a networking group, not NRG, that has not worked. They got one lead in a year, they got one lead in 2 years. So my challenge when I talk to them, maybe they haven't had the most positive experience. You're brand new with NRG. You've been with me about 90 days, and you've been such a big impact person. For someone who's been through networking and maybe they didn't have a great experience, what would you say are 2 or 3 benefits of NRG that you've seen as you share? And then we'll bring Oren back. But what have been 2 or 3 really big benefits of NRG? And the second part of that, when you came to the meeting, I know you liked it, but then you came to the extravaganza and it blew your vision up, and you were like, Mike, I'm in, let's go. We're going to do some amazing things. So, your recommendation to people, what do you like about NRG? 2 benefits. And I'm gonna shut up and let you take it from there. You're sharing so many nuggets. I'm taking notes, and I'm the CEO, but I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge. And
Right.
you always want to be humble. You want to learn, because if you think you've learned everything, you're going backwards faster than you can say NRG. So couple of benefits of NRG for our viewing audience, and then we'll bring Warren back. Thank you.
For sure. So, and basically, this is exactly why you're great. Why you're an avid learner, and you always take the position of, hey, let me learn something from everything. And this is another great tip for the youth, and not only the youth, for everybody in life in general as well. So great tips. One thing that I do with the prospect, if you will, is a closer framework. And in the closer framework, the O stands for overviewing their past reign, right? So in life, obviously, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, right? Networking is no different. Some groups are, let's be honest, are not that great, and that's totally fine. And maybe you've been in those groups, you've been unsatisfied, you lost money, even all those great things, right? But one thing you need to understand is that if you always stop at the first failure, you will never go anywhere in life, okay? So the first thing with NRG, one, is the way we approach business and networking in general is not like a noun. I will take the beautiful quote from Mitchell Wilson here, but we approach networking as a verb, right? It's moving, it's giving, it's action. It's not just saying, oh yeah, this is a networking group, and then we, bunch of people just looking at each other. No, it's a bunch of people actively providing value for everybody. So that's the first thing, right? Business will increase because you will get more leads, and as we know, the warmer the leads, the better conversion rate, and referrals are the best lead on earth by far, because the trust barrier is already done by being someone of trust sending you that lead. So that's the first thing. The second thing is relationship. I have never seen that my whole life. Connecting with so many business people that are so generous, so genuine about helping people, about building something even outside of business, right? Friendship. I have now many people that I can just call at night and say, hey, I have this project. What do you think about it? Can you help me launch this offer? All those great things, because they understood once again that, first of all, I provided value to them. They understand, the greatness on our way, and they make the best of it. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is regularity, right? So some business group all met once a week, twice a month, things like that. NRG, 36 meaning a week. I just want to make this very clear. 36 meaning a week. And once you get a membership, you can jump on any of those group, right? So what I want you to understand is that to make the most of your membership, and this is the same thing with, like I said, business in general, you need to be active. If you're active and people see you're active, they will be active towards yourself. And again, any value you give, you receive back. So those will be my three main component on why, we can talk ROI all day long. I 50x my ROI in 3 months with NRG, so I can speak that as well. But like I said, for me, I'm not a money-driven person. If you are, that's totally fine. You should join NRG anyway. But if you're more of a relationship-building type of person, I think it's even better. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, Sam. I really appreciate that. And, for a viewing audience, definitely come out, check out a meeting, come meet Sam, come meet me. I'm going to bring Oren back in, but Sam, it's been absolutely amazing having you here. And, you're way beyond your years, and that's what's so exciting about you. And you and I have developed a business relationship and a friendship, and that's what's been really cool. So we'll bring Oren back in here in a second. For those of you watching, we do have a big speaker coming up on Friday, Chris Salem with the speaker series, and that's going to be this Friday, 12 noon Eastern. It'll be here on my Zoom. So while we wait for Oren, I don't know if he went out and grabbed the coffee, but here he is. There's the man himself.
Yes, indeed.
Filling in for Lee. I got to do my voiceover. Filling in for Leon Thomas, the one, the only Oren.
Yes, indeed. I'll tell you something. Today has been a master's class. Sam, you are an amazing, and I'm not only going to just say a young man, but just an amazing person, man. I personally today have been blessed. I thank you both for allowing me to stand in for Leon on such a special day and with such a special guest. I mean, I've been wild the entire time as I've been listening to the two of you, where we've been displaying your information. But Sam, tell us where we can reach you if anyone wants to reach out to you to get connected and learn more.
Right. So LinkedIn is where I'm more active.
Okay.
If you want to reach out to me by phone number, you can also do that. I'm a pretty busy man, so please just send me a text before you call me. 438-499-4721 is my number. Obviously, like I said, I'm in Montreal, so if you don't have an international line, you can call me on WhatsApp as well. If you, like I said, you don't pay any fees. It will be a pleasure for me to meet every single one of you, and again, provided value for each other.
Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. And Mike, tell us where people can reach you as well.
Absolutely. They can give me a call or shoot me a text at 443-756-9656. We do have the NRG website, nrg.online, and would love to hear from you. Come to a meeting this week. Come meet Sam and I. We'd love to have you out to the organization.
Yes, indeed. Well, today has been an amazing additional episode to this growing business here at NRG this week. I am standing in Oren Stewart for Leon Thomas. To something that Sam said today, that money is overrated, is something I've been saying for years. People have to get back to valuing one another Let's just say that relationships is really
Right.
where everything lies at, and where really everything grows from. One thing I would like to share today is to something that you said, Sam, is when you think about time, right, and you see it as a currency, right? How will you spend
Mm-hmm.
it? You know, it's the greatest currency we know that we have, that is of such great value. But how will we spend it? You know, what will we do with it? How will we allow ourselves to become in position with one another and say, you know what, you have value, I have value. Let's see how these two values can come together. So with that
No,
being said,
that's
go ahead. What
yeah, that's a very great point. And you mentioned currency, right?
Mhm.
And money is energy, right?
Yes,
We
indeed.
say currency because current, right? Current
Yeah.
is in the word. It's I have it right now, but I don't possess this money. It's just right now it's my turn, but then I will spend it on something else, and it won't be my turn, right? So
Yes.
it's very about understanding that first of all to make the most out of your time.
True.
Again, be around great people. That's the first thing. Because by growing your mind, by growing what you think, you will grow what you do, right?
Yes.
Very simply. So that's the first thing. Utilize your time and guard it with your life. Your time and reputation, guard it with your life, and make sure that you always stand up, be on time. When someone tells you something or you say something to someone, I don't know, making a referral or something of those sorts, uh, do it. Because let me tell you the biggest tip of staying poor: promise a lot and don't deliver. Don't do that. Do the
So
opposite. Do the opposite.
So true. Promise a lot, do not deliver. I don't even want to say anything else after that. We want people to know that today, like I mentioned earlier, is a master's class. Mike, you said something that this is an episode that people need to make sure that they go back and watch and listen and watch and listen for years to come. This is one that you can literally say, put it at the top of your list, play it back from
Yep.
time and time again.
And
But
take notes. And
take
take
notes.
notes. And
Yes, indeed.
take
Look, I
notes.
have my
Hey,
notepad
hey,
right
oh,
here. Always make sure you come prepared, right?
I took a page of notes
Yes.
because if we're not a sponge, if we think we know it all, we're in trouble.
So
And
true.
Oren,
Right.
I want to kind of wrap up with something I asked
Please
at
do.
the beginning of the session. Leah and I usually talk baseball or football, and you're like, you're more into basketball.
Yeah.
So you know what? I want to take something from Sam. I want to talk about the greatest basketball player ever in 60 seconds or less, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I am
Okay.
not a
I was wondering where
basketball
you were going
fan,
with that.
I
but
was wondering as well.
I love Michael Jordan. Sam said he's very competitive, and
Hmm.
you're probably not surprised, so am I. But people like Sam and I, we compete with ourselves. If
Oh,
you
come on.
Mm,
compete with somebody else, they may be, I don't want to say a slug, but they may not be motivated. And
Yes.
if they're at the top of the game, it may not be fair.
Yes.
Michael Jordan got cut from
Yes.
his high school basketball team.
Indeed.
And Oprah
mm-hmm.
Winfrey was told she wasn't good enough for TV, and we know where that went.
Yes.
But
Right.
you can't make the shots that you don't take.
Come on,
And the
man.
thing that I love about Michael Jordan, he as a kid would practice over and over. You've got to refine your skills, and it's abundantly clear that Sam has done that. He's had his business. If you do the math, since he was 16, and he's probably been doing stuff since he was. I could see him at 3 years old with a calculator,
I can
and
too.
I could see him with being on the internet. I mean, because he's that kind of guy. But for our viewing audience, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, he practiced and practiced. And after the high school team said, "You're no good, you're not going to make it," he went on and did it anyway. So when someone throws tomatoes at you, you know you're doing something great. I've had a lot of tomatoes thrown at me. I'm sure you guys have had it
Indeed.
too.
Yes, indeed.
Compete with yourself, get better. I mean, my goal is to get better. I don't want to
Mhm.
be where I am. I want to continue to improve. So, Oren, I'm going to take, Leon and I always have fun. We're not going to talk Lamar Jackson. We're not going to talk baseball. We're going to have that memory of Michael Jordan in our brains. And I think that's a
Yes.
good way for us to kind of
I
wrap up. So I'll turn it
I
back to
agree.
you. And
I
Sam, I
agree.
appreciate you being here. And Oren, you did a great job filling in for
I
Lee and I
appreciate it.
go back 25 years. So, I know he's going through a little health
Yeah.
hiccup. He'll be fine. He's tenacious as heck, just like all of us.
Yes, sir.
So I'll
Right.
turn it back to you, Oren, and wrap this puppy up.
Yes, indeed. I
God,
just
God, God bless him for sure.
yes, indeed.
Yes,
Yes, indeed.
absolutely.
Yes, indeed. We send our prayers to you, Leon. You mentioned something in regards to the greatest, as we call him, the greatest player, but it's to what you mentioned, and also where we spoke about with Sam, that greatness, like Sam, you mentioned, if you're not talking about greatness, don't speak my name, something of that sort. So stay tenacious, continue to, show up and be consistent. To all of our listeners today, thank you for joining us. We have so many more episodes in store to come. Have a great week.